الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد فإن خير الكلام كلام الله وأحسن الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. A continuation of our book Nawaqidul Islam, the Shaykh Muhammad ibn AbdurRauf ibn Sulaiman al-Tamimi rahimahullah. Today we should read the seventh Nawaqid, the seventh matter that nullifies the Islam of the Muslim. But my mind is very low. We should read the seventh Nawaqid today as Sihr. We should explain today what Sihr means. Sihr. And we should explain the rulings of Sihr. Is Sihr all kufr? Any person who does Sihr, what should the Muslims do to that person? What should the government do? If they just go and a man or somebody does, if he goes over, will Allah accept over? How is it allowed Sharia to remove Sihr from Palestinians? السابع
seventh thing that nullifies the Islam of an individual says At-Tasfiyah. We hear this word every day. said rahimahullah as-sabi' السحر ومنه الصرف والعطف فمن فعله أو رضي به كفر. says السحر السابع السحر ومنه الصرف والعطف فمن فعله أو رضي به كفر. والدليل قوله تعالى وما يعلمان من أحد حتى يقولا إنما نحن فتنة فلا تكفر. Shaykh Muhammad ibn AbdurRauf says the seventh thing amongst the things that we mention in this book that destroys the Islam of an individual is At-Tasfiyah. He said as-sabi', the seventh matter is as-sihr. Sihr. He said وَمِنْهُ الصَّرْفُ وَالْعَطْفُ فَمَنْ فَعَلَهُ أَوْ رَضِيَ بِهِ كَفَرَ. والدليل قوله تعالى وما يعلمان من أحد حتى يقولا إنما نحن فتنة فلا تكفر. For the seventh matter that nullifies the Islam of somebody who is already a Muslim. An individual is already a Muslim, but there are some things when the person does, he goes out of Islam. The person will become a kafir. Such that if he dies, we would not observe the Salatul Janazah on him, the funeral prayer. Such that if he dies, we are not going to bury him in the burial ground of the Muslims. Such that if he dies, his children will not inherit him. These are some of the consequences of a person becoming a non-Muslim. Such that if he greets us saying Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, if we are not extremely certain about the words he had employed, we will not respond. And when we respond, we will only say wa alaikum, except we are sure that he said Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah clearly. But we will not commence the taslim with him. We will not start the taslim with him. We have been praying together. We have been fasting together. We have been standing in the masjid together. But if he does or did any of these things we had counted, he becomes somebody we cannot see and starts to greet by saying Assalamu alaikum. Because the Muslim does not start to greet a non-Muslim with kalima, this ibara, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, this taslim. You don't start to greet a non-Muslim by it. So if a person was a Muslim or is a Muslim and does any of these things we are reading, the person becomes a non-Muslim. Except for issues of excuse, of ignorance and things like that. The person becomes a non-Muslim. One of those things is as-sihr. Sihr, this word, those who are engaged in translations give it the word sorcery. They translate it as sorcery. Some others translate it as magic. Some others translate it as fortune telling. But it involves all. The kalima sihr in Arabic involves all of these things. It involves witchcraft, what people would like to call black magic. But to call it black magic is a little bit racist. There are words that are declared either racist or feminist or archaic, depending on usage classification. If you say sihr is black magic, you are being unfair to the black people, because the whites too have witchcraft. The whites, there are books on it, written by whites on witchcraft. There are books whites have written on witchcraft, and they practice witchcraft till today. There are amongst the whites who practice, you go to the US, the UK, the so-called Western world, civilized, there is witchcraft. So it is not appropriate to refer to sihr as black magic. If we call it magic, it is magic. It can be of a black man or of a white man. But magic is just a part of sihr. Sihr is a word that is more encompassing than that. Likewise, if you call it witchcraft, it's just one of these things in it. So the ulama rahimahumullah, here we read a lot from the book of Shaykh Muhammad ibn Salih al-Uthaymeen, Al-Qawl al-Mufid, ala Kitab al-Tawheed. The Shaykh's commentary on the book Kitab al-Tawheed, on the chapter Ma Ja'a fi Sihr, what has been mentioned about sihr. We read a lot from it. He said, rahimahullah, al-sihr lughatan. What is sihr linguistically? You know, sihr is an Arabic word. In day-to-day Arabic usage, what does it mean? He said, rahimahullah, ma khafiya wa la tufa sababuhu. Ma khafiya sababuhu, yani something that whose cause is hidden. Something happens, but you don't know its cause. It has a cause, but the cause is hidden. Not khafiya. So thin, perhaps we can say clandestine, concealed, but you are seeing the effects. Something whose effect you can see, you can observe, you can sense it, but you can't touch, you can't feel, you can't perceive the cause. What caused it? What brought about it? It has a cause, but that cause is khafiya wa la tufa. Is khafi, unknown, hidden, concealed. It is clandestine. We are not seeing it, but it has a cause. So linguistically, he said this is the meaning of as-sihr. And Imam Muhammad al-Amin al-Shinqiti, in his tafsir of وَلَا يُفْلِحُ السَّاحِرُ حَيْثُ أَتَى, we'll come back to this verse more in this discussion, where Allah said subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَلَا يُفْلِحُ السَّاحِرُ حَيْثُ أَتَى. The person who is engaged in sihr, لَا يُفْلِحُ, will never succeed. حَيْثُ أَتَى, حَيْثُ, wherever he goes, حَيْثُ, whenever, at any time, in any place, لَا يُفْلِحُ السَّاحِرُ. A person who is engaged or who does sihr, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, La yuflih, he will never succeed. We will come back to this verse inshallah. So sihr, while this Imam explained this verse, he said, even Arabs, when they describe something that is concealed, they will say, Huwa akhfa min as-sihr. It is more concealed than sihr. When they say akhfa, huwa akhfa min as-sihr, they are using it to make us understand that sihr is what? Concealed. When Arabs describe something that is concealed, that is hidden, but they are seeing the effects, they say huwa akhfa min as-sihr. It is more hidden, it is more unnoticed, sihr, which means sihr is something in their language that implies something that is concealed. وَمِنْهُ سَمَّى, back to the words of Al-Imam Muhammad ibn Salih al-Uthaymeen rahimahullah, he said, وَمِنْهُ سَمَّى السَّحْرَ وَمِنْهُ سُمِّيَ السَّحْرَ لِآخِرِ اللَّيْلِ. From the meaning of sihr being something that is concealed is what we have as as-sahar. As-sahar is the time in the night shortly before dawn. The time shortly before Tulu al-Fajr, that is the time of as-sahar. وَبِالْأَسْحَارِ هُمْ يَسْتَغْفِرُونَ. Allah says at ashar, at the times of sahar, yastaghfirun, when everybody is sleeping, these people wake up in the night, beg Allah, Allahumma gfirli, oh Allah forgive me, in the third part of the night. Why? Because the activities of those periods are concealed. Many of the people are not aware of what you are doing. So that is referred to as sahar also. He said, لأن الأفعال التي تقع فيه تكون خفية. So because the actions of that period are hidden, so it is referred to as what? As sahar, which is from the word to sihr. He said, وَكَذَلِكَ سُمِّيَ السَّحُورُ. As-sahur, the pre-dawn meal we take during Ramadan, it is referred to as what? As-sahur. And he said, rahimahullah, لِمَا يُؤْكَلُ فِي آخِرِ اللَّيْلِ, because it is eaten. It is something that happens in the night. People are not seeing us. We alone fasting are the ones knowing that we are taking something. We are taking the meal at a time that is concealed. We are not in the open like breakfast and all that. It's something that is concealed. لأنه يكون خفيا, because the sahur is concealed, is hidden too. It says فَكُلُّ شَيْءٍ خَفِيَ سَبَبُهُ سُمِّيَ سَحْرًا. كُلُّ شَيْءٍ خَفِيَ سَبَبُهُ سُمِّيَ سَحْرًا. Everything whose sabab, whose cause is hidden, is called what? Sahar. There are other examples ulama give. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says, this hadith is reported by Abdullah ibn Umar. The Imam al-Bukhari and Muslim mentioned it in their Sahih. The Prophet said alayhi salam, he says, Inna min al-bayani la sihra. Inna min al-bayani la sihra. The Prophet said alayhi salatu wasalam that certainly min al-bayan. The ulama say this mean here, this particular mean, could mean part of bayan, part of eloquence, part of it. It could mean the bayan of eloquence. Eloquence is sihr, and they are both correct. Eloquence. The Prophet said sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Inna min al-bayani la sihra. Certainly, from eloquence, when somebody is speaking eloquently, whether Arabic, whether English, whether Yoruba, any language, once the person is speaking and the speech is eloquence, it says certainly this Islam tawqid, la sihra, and it is mansub because it is ismu inna. It says inna min al-bayani la sihra. So certainly eloquence has what? Sihr. Or there is sihr in eloquence. How? Why? Because the person who is eloquent, who is speaking eloquently, is giving nice expressions in his speech. If he wants to convert, he wants to make evil look good. In eloquence, the person who is listening will not know. He would have accepted evil as good, or vice versa. Eloquence brings about somebody speaking about an evil, and the listener who hates the evil initially will be cajoled by that eloquence to think that the truth is what? Falsehood. Or to think that falsehood is what? Truth. why have they named, or why has the Messenger alayhi salatu wasalam referred to eloquence as from the aspects of sihr? He has referred to it because you will see the effect in the body of the listener. But why is he changing his mind? Why is somebody who knows good now accepting that good thing as something that is evil? It was eloquence. There was effect. There was a means. But the person on whose body the effect was felt, he didn't know how he became changed. He can't explain. He will just see that he's already accepting evil as good and then good as evil. One of the scholars explained this hadith and then asked, does it then now mean that anytime a person is eloquent, that means it's a sahir? If somebody is speaking, each time he speaks, there is nothing that he says. There are people who brag about it. They say there is nobody they speak to except that they convince the person. And there were Arabs like that. Arabs were really like that. They were people who spoke with high level eloquence. So now does it mean each time a person speaks with eloquence, even when he is establishing the truth, then it is sihr? Ulama say no. The only connection eloquence has with sihr is that it has a power to bring about a change, while the person you are changing does not know that he's already changed. That is the connection between eloquence and sihr. Otherwise, al-bayan is from what Allah is proud about. When he spoke about man, he says, Allamahul bayan. Allah taught man bayan, eloquence. It is part of the difference between human beings and other lower animals. So eloquence, al-bayan, is good as long as it is used for good. And eloquence is evil and actually sihr as long as it is used for evil. So eloquence, it is not in itself blameworthy. We are going to consider its ruling according to the goal, what comes about after the eloquence is employed. So, but the connection with sihr, as far as eloquence is concerned, is that a person in listening to an eloquent speech, he changes his views, he changes his position, not knowing that he has changed. All making us understand that as-sihr lexically means what? Something that is concealed. But it has an effect. From that also, Arabs say that when a woman dresses up for her husband, she behaves nice, she wears good clothes, she pays attention to him so that he can love her. They call that is also sihr. As-sihru al-jaiz, that is sihr that is allowed. Why? Because when a woman does well, pays attention to her look, so that her husband will like her the more, she is doing something, and the effect is concealed. The husband just begins to see that he is becoming more inclined to her. So we are going to see the effects. So whatever, that's why he said, rahimahullah, that for kullu shay'in khafiya sababuhu yusamma sihran. Everything whose sabab is not really known, you can't see the man being changed. That thing is referred to linguistically as what? Sihr. He said, وَأَمَّا فِي الشَّرْعِ, but in the Sharia, and he went on to divide sihr into two. Rahimahullah. He said, وَأَمَّا فِي الشَّرْعِ فَإِنَّهُ يَنْقَسِمُ إِلَى قِسْمَيْنِ. From the goggles of the Sharia, sihr has two forms. Some of the scholars like Al-Imam Shaykh rahimahullah believes that, technically speaking in the Sharia, it is difficult to find a definition for sihr because it is widespread and it comes in many things. So when you define it, you soon find that the definition is not holding water in some circumstances. Sihr in the Sharia, which the sihr that is kufr in the Sharia, the ulama say it is something that is difficult to define. But We will only try to define it by through its means, how it happens. If we try to give it a definition by how it happens, it will help us in understanding the various other matters we are going to discuss under this subject inshallah. So the Shaykh said, rahimahullah, says, وَأَمَّا فِي الشَّرْعِ, but in the Sharia, in the technical sense, فَإِنَّهُ يَنْقَسِمُ قِسْمَيْنِ إِلَى قِسْمَيْنِ. Sihr has two forms, two categories. It says, Al-Awwal, the first form, the first category of sihr. It says, Uqadun wa ruqa. Uqadun. Knots. Knots. Uqad. Somebody picks something and ties a knot. Wa ruqa. And then incantations. He ties a knot and then begins to say incantations to the knot. Somebody ties a knot and he begins to say incantations to that knot, so that a certain effect is felt by a person who is the bewitched. He said, rahimahullah, ay qira'at, some words, recitals, readings, wat-Tarbiyah, and things like talismans, maybe a ring, maybe a chain, maybe a bangle, maybe a lias to his waist, something like this, that يتوصل بها الساحر إلى استخدام الشياطين. الساحر, the person who is doing the sihr, will use it to achieve seeking the help of shayateen. Somebody wants to seek the help of devils, so he ties a knot and says some words so that the devils will attend to him. He wants to give them a job now, fima yurid, regarding what he wants. Qira'at, incantations. When the person begins to incant, give incantations, invocations, and he has tied a knot, or is reciting it to particular talismans or something, and when he is doing this, he wants to use it, يتوصل بها الساحر إلى استخدام الشياطين. He wants to use it to send the shaitan a message. He wants to use it to appease the devil, so that he can use that devil for what he wants. When we were younger than this, in the local Arabic schools, there are words, I still remember many now. If you recite them, jinns will come to you. You will recite those words, particular times, in particular places, jinns will come. There are amongst us those who have witnessed things like this. Someone once told me here that there were incantations like that, and the jinn appeared and said, what do you want me to do? The jinn, the devil, will appear and say, tell me, what do you want? Sometimes when they don't appear, you may not see them. Those who make sihr may not see them, but they just make them say, okay, I want you to do so and so, and they do it. Those people, or majority of those you call afars, they do these things a lot. It is part of their jobs. But we'll see what is the ruling of Sharia on it. So they say they are qira'at wa talasim يتوصل بها الساحر إلى استخدام الشياطين فيما يريد به ضرر المسحور. He will use it to make istikhdam of the shayateen, to use the shayateen, the devils, for what? فيما يريد به ضرر المسحور. Regarding what he has, he wants to cause that person is bewitching. The witch, let's come back. We can use sihr now, sahir now. We can use it as witch, because now this word, what we are explaining now, fits the word bewitching. The person, the witch who is bewitching, which is a witch who is bewitching somebody. He makes some knots and some things and incantations. When he makes them, he is able to use a devil or a jinn to cause harm to that person he wants to be with. While when the university, the sister had problems of we call it jinn, of jinn. We say she has a jinn problem. She's been bewitched. That's the meaning. And during Ruqyah that the brothers read to her, the jinn was speaking from her. And the jinn was saying that she is being punished because she was helping one of their grandfathers who was bewitched. So when she went and she was helping that person, unfortunately she doesn't recite Azkar. The jinn said so. I heard it. It could be a lie. This is part of what you must also note. The Jews lie a lot. So don't over depend on what they say. They lie a lot. So the jinn said, if it was a lie, the jinn said that sister is being bewitched because she doesn't say Adkar. And that most unfortunately when she comes into the bathrooms, she comes in with her right legs when she's supposed to come with her left and say Adkar. They said, why will we not bewitch that kind of a person? But the point of reference here is, you will see that some people had bewitched her grandfather, according to that narration. Some people had bewitched the grandfather, and she was going to help him. So they sent the same devils to deal with her too. What we are saying is, bewitching is that a witch does incantations to call the attention of devils so that he can use that devil and give an onslaught against the person is bewitching. Do we understand? He said, Rahimahullah, lakin قال الله تعالى وما هم بضارين به من أحد إلا بإذن الله. Yes, those who bewitch, they do that really. But Allah says, وَمَا هُمْ بِضَارِينَ. They cannot cause the harm at all. مِنْ أَحَدٍ, to anybody, إِلَّا بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ, except as Allah wills. So the point the Shaykh is making here, rahimahullah, that the first group, the first kind of sihr is what we refer to as what? Uqadun wa ruqa. Knots and what? Incantations. And this is what Allah told us also in the Quran. Allah says, قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ. Say, O Muhammad, we are coming back to that verse. أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ. I seek refuge with Allah, Rabbul Falak, the Lord of whatever opens and brings something new. Al-Falak means when something opens and something new comes out of it. The way darkness goes away and day comes. The way the day goes away and night comes. The way the seed opens and new sprouts comes out of the seed. This is Falikul Hab. Wal-Nawa. So Fal-Falak is Al-Mafluq. Something that is opening so that new thing will come out. In each of these, Allah is the Lord that controls all of these. So this Allah that controls any new thing, the same thing you can say of a woman giving birth to a baby. Her body opens and then something comes out. Except the fact that in her own case, she remains. But in terms of Al-Falak, the old one goes away while the new one takes over. So we say, A'udhu bi Rabbil Falak. I seek refuge in the Lord of Al-Falak. Usually ulama translate it to morning. Min sharri ma khalaq. I seek refuge with the Lord of the mornings, the Lord of the dawn, from every evil that Allah has created. وَمِن شَرِّ غَاسِقٍ إِذَا وَقَبَ. I also seek refuge with Allah min sharri, from the evil of what? غَاسِقٍ إِذَا وَقَبَ. Al-Ghasiq, ulama refer to it as the night. إذا وقب, when it falls, when the night is falling, I seek refuge with the Lord subhanahu wa ta'ala from the evil of the night when it falls. He says, وَمِن شَرِّ النَّفَّاثَاتِ. This is our point of reference. I also seek refuge with Allah from the evil of an-naffathat. Naffathat. Somebody who is blowing, fil uqad, the knots. The blowing are the incantations. When they make the incantations, they blow. When they make incantations, they do what? They blow. Naffathat. Whether they are women, because Zahir loves of naffathat refers to women. Some people say it is referring to them because they do it more. And that's why some English people consider the word witch as feminine. There is a feminine noun, witch. They rather refer to men as, I think, wizards. So Allah says, Naffathat, women who blow the knots, fil uqad, a'udhu bi rabbil falaq. I seek refuge in the Lord of the dawn from them. Naffathati fil uqad. When they make a knot, they begin to blow it. They make the knot and they blow. They make the knot. Naffathat. They make incantations and they blow. Although Naffathat, ulama say, could also refer to as Jama'atul Rijal, groups of men. But basically that word is feminine. And ulama also say that it could also refer to an-nufus al-sharira, evil souls, the devils. Perhaps that was why that word came in the feminine form, Naffathat. So that is referring to sihr. In that verse of the Quran, Allah is referring to sihr. An-nafasu fil uqad. An-nafasu fil uqad. And Allah connects it to hasad. If we were making a tafsir of Surah Al-Falaq, the ulama ask, what is the connection between naffathat fil uqad and wa min sharri hasidin idha hasad? They said the reason why Allah connected between sihr and hasad is that hasad also, hasad, envy. When somebody is envying some other person, the meaning of hasad is that an individual hates a particular good Allah has done to an individual. One person hates it. His child has graduated from the university. The other one hates it. The man has a car. The other man hates it. The other man has a nice clothes. The other man hates it. The other man is wearing a nice cap. The other man hates it. This is hasad. Ulama say whether he wants that thing to go off him or not, as long as you hate one good thing Allah has done for a Muslim, you are making hasad. Now Allah says, وَمِن شَرِّ حَاسِدٍ إِذَا حَسَدٍ. I seek refuge in you when the person who is making envy manifests his envy. They say, okay, وَمِن شَرِّ النَّفَّاثَاتِ فِي الْعُقَدِ. As long as the man is making naffathat, you seek refuge. Why is it that the hasad, we are not seeking refuge until إِذَا حَسَدًا, when he wants to make his hasad? They say it is because if a person is envying you, you will not have the effect until he moves to actualize the envy. Envy makes people kill people. Do you know that? Envy makes people kill people. This hadith in Al-Adab al-Mufrad of Al-Imam al-Bukhari, hadith is mawquf and Ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhu. A man proposed to marry a woman. The woman said, no, I will not accept. Another man proposed to marry the same woman, and the woman accepted. That first person said, فَغِرْتُ عَلَيْهَا فَقَتَلْتُهُ. I became jealous over her, so I killed the first man. He said so. It's فَغِرْتُ عَلَيْهَا. He's jealous. فَقَتَلْتُهُ. So he killed the first man. So he was asking Abdullah ibn Abbas, هَلِّيَ مِن تَوْبَةٍ? Will I ever be forgiven? radiyallahu anhuma. The point of reference is that jealousy, envy can make one individual to kill the person. So the time that we'll be asking Allah, we'll be begging Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala of refuge min sharri hasidin is either hasada, when he is actually now bringing into practice his hasad. But the connection between sihr and hasad is that the person making hasad may also just sit somewhere and do some things, and the person in the mahsud will be feeling the effect of the hasad. And that's why from the things the ulama has grouped under these things, linguistically, generally speaking, is also al-ayn. The individual is looking at the other person and the other person is falling on the ground. It happened during the time of the Prophet Muhammad. The hadith is reported by Imam Abu Dawud in his Sunnah. An individual was having his bath and the other person looked at him and said, Subhanallah, in terms of his body, he was seeing the upper parts of his body while the other one was having his bath. The one who was having his bath fell down in the bath. They ran to the Prophet Muhammad. And he was the one who said, you are the one who caused him to fall on the ground because of your eyes. And the ulama, when they explain, وَلَوْلَا إِذْ دَخَلْتَ فَقُلْتَ مَا شَاءَ اللَّهُ لَا قُوَّةَ إِلَّا بِاللَّهِ, about the man who had a nice garden, Allah told us about in Surah Al-Kahf. That why was it that إِذْ دَخَلْتَ فَقُلْتَ مَا شَاءَ اللَّهُ, when you entered and saw your nice garden, why did you not say Ma Sha Allah La Quwwata Illa Billah? The fact was because it was also possible that his own eyes destroyed his garden. Meaning even you, your eyes can destroy the good thing you have. So when you see a good thing you have or someone else has, you should say what? Ma Sha Allah La Quwwata Illa Billah. Otherwise your eyes can destroy it. Your eyes can destroy your son. Your eyes can destroy your clothes. Your eyes can destroy your car, can destroy your house. So you will now see that you will be seeing the effects of the eyes, but the sabab you don't know. Khafi. So that is why things like that are also considered under the aspects of sihr, generally speaking. So the first kind of sihr, the first explanation of the sihr as far as the Sharia is concerned are things people do. They tie knots and they make incantations on that knot so that they can seek the attention of a devil that they can feign to cause harm to the bewitched, to the person they are bewitching. I hope this point is very clear. And an example, an evidence for that is that what Allah mentioned in Surah Al-Falaq. وَمِن شَرِّ نَفَّاثَاتِ فِي الْعُقَدِ فَالنَّفَّاثَاتِ فِي الْعُقَدِ هُوَ عَيْنُ السِّحْرِ. نَفَّاثَاتِ فِي الْعُقَدِ, blowing into knots and making incantations, is the main thing that is referred to as what? Sihr. The second group about sihr, they say adwiyatun, some substance, wa'aqaqeen, and things like medicines and substances. They say tu'athiru ala badanil mashur. When those things are brought together, they cause effect on the body of the bewitched. The second way. The first one is what? Arruqya wa mada? Arruqa wal uqad. Knots and incantations. These ones, al-adwiya wal-aqaqir. A man cuts a leaf here, cuts a branch there, gets water, gets something, gets that, he ties it or not, or that he burns it, he flames it, he does something with it. Like in all these things, to athiru ala badanil mashur. The bewitched person feels the effect. تؤثر على بدن المسحور وعقله, likewise he feels it as he feels it on his body, He feels it in his intellect. وإرادته, and his wills. وميله, and his inclinations. So somebody is burning something or mixing something together. Another person is feeling the effect. He's feeling the effect in his brain. He's feeling the effect on his body. He's feeling the effect in even the way he is thinking. He is feeling the effect in what he wants. فَتَجِدُهُ, the Shaykh said, you now find that that person that is bewitched, يَنْصَرِفُ وَيَمِينُ, يَنْصَرِفُ, he will be avoiding some things. وَيَمِينُ, and he will be getting inclined to certain things. He will be hating some things, and he will be wanting some things. وَهُوَ مَا يُسَمَّى عِنْدَهُمْ بِالصَّرْفِ وَالْعَطْفِ. This is what they refer to as what? As-sarfu wal-atf. That is, as-sarfu is avoidance. Wal-atf is what? Attraction. فَيَجْعَلُونَ الْإِنسَانِ, when they do that, they make that person to become يَنْعَطِفُ عَلَى زَوْجَتِهِ. He becomes inclined to his wife. He will be feeling attachments to his wife. Some men get married to women. It is very common in the north. Some men get married to women. They call it Kayang Mata. And those who do it most are Fulanis. They go into houses of women in their homes. These Fulanis are not necessarily Muslims. Most of them are those they call Dorori. They are Mushrikun. They live inside the bushes and hinterlands. So they get those things from shayateen, because the sihr, these things, if you ask me, those people who do it, how do they know it? Allah told us in the Quran that it is shayateen that teach people. وَاتَّبَعُوا مَا تَتْلُو الشَّيَاطِينُ عَلَى مُلْكِ سُلَيْمَانَ وَمَا كَفَرَ سُلَيْمَانُ وَلَكِنَّ الشَّيَاطِينَ كَفَرُوا يُعَلِّمُونَ النَّاسَ السِّحْرَ. That is the point of reference. Sihr is taught to man by shayateen. They will teach them, you see so-so leaf, you see so-so leaf, you see so-so thing, put it together. So-so thing will happen to so-so person or to any person you want. In amongst those of us in the southwest here, it is common they say somebody is a hunter. He was hunting in the bush in the midnight. They say he met Ebola. Usually those things are jinns. And in some cases, they have dealings together. They have meetings. They have agreements. I will be doing so-so thing for you, but you too will be doing so-so thing to me. And they will be teaching them each time they need attention. They want to get something done, they will call that thing, it will come. So the question is, if you ask, those people mixing something together, or those people making incantations, how do they know what to say, what to do, to bewitch somebody? I say Allah said that, وَيَتَعَلَّمُونَ مِنْهُمَا. Before that, the verse we read, what did he say? وَلَكِنَّ الشَّيَاطِينَ كَفَرُوا يُعَلِّمُونَ النَّاسَ السِّحْرَ. These shayateen, they disbelieved, they are kuffar. They now want people to become kuffar like themselves, so they teach them sihr. So if you ask, those people, how do they know what they are doing to cause that effect? Allah said, الشَّيَاطِينَ هُمُ الَّذِينَ يُعَلِّمُونَ النَّاسَ السِّحْرَ. The shayateen, the devils, the jinns, they are those who teach the people sihr. They will tell them, do this. Even those are fast. They call jinns to teach them. Jinns teach them what they say. Jinns teach them what they refer to as nankali. It is the jinns that teach them. They invite the jinns. The jinn will tell them, do so-so thing. So-so thing will happen. يُعَلِّمُونَ النَّاسَ السِّحْرَ. So if you wonder how do those things happen, it is shayateen that teach people. May Allah protect us. So it is the shayateen that bring about those things. So when you see these borori people, they go into homes, they give a woman something. Sometimes it is in the first group. It may be a knot with incantations. And they teach her what to say. I tell you, I have seen them. They will teach the woman what to say. Sometimes, if it is medicines, they will tell her to put some things together. Sometimes put it in the food of her husband. Sometimes don't put it in the food, just mix it together, put it somewhere. Even here it's common. Sometimes they say throw it in the well. Sometimes they say throw it in the river. So in that case, yamilu yanatifu ala zawjatihi. You see the man, he becomes mad about his wife. Awimaratin ukhra, or another woman altogether. There was a case of a brother. Let me mention it. It's in Abuja. It happened. The civil servant, he goes to office. The brother. You know what I mean? Brother. A woman wanted her in the office. You know civil servants? Yes. Many times you see people, shameless women in civil service. I tell you, they have husbands, but they are Allah with what they are looking for with husbands of other women. So the woman, according to the report, a brother who is a friend of him told us that this woman was always coming to make advances to the brother. The brother will refuse. Like that. One day the brother came to the office on a Tuesday or Wednesday. The brother came to the office. All the brother would remember that he did was Mrs. Soso entered my office. What happened afterwards he cannot remember. And they did not find him until after 4 days. They did not find the brother until after 4 days. So when he's asked what happened, he said, the last thing I can remember is that Mrs. Soso came to my office. So it is possible that she has sihr of mahabba with her. The sihr of love and what? Inclinations. This person will be loving, will be inclined towards her, not knowing that, not being himself. Let's go with what the Shaykh said. So a woman, some women who don't fear Allah. We are coming back to the hukum, the ruling of all these things in the Sharia. What we are doing now, we are just explaining how it is. The nature of it is what we are just trying to explain. All these things have rulings in the Sharia. So the Shaykh said, Rahimahullah, فَتَجِدُهُ, he says, فَيَجْعَلُونَ الْإِنسَانَ يَنْعَطِفُ عَلَى زَوْجَتِهِ. So you see a man, يَنْعَطِفُ, you start following his wife about. He's so inclined to her. أَوْ إِمْرَأَةٍ أُخْرَى, or any other woman, حَتَّى يَكُونَ كَالْبَهِيمَةِ, until this man will become like what? A beast. You know when a goat runs after a sheep, when a goat runs after another goat, so hatta yakuna kamala al-bahima, he will not know himself again. Nas'alullah salamat wa alaikum. He said, taquduhu kama tasha, this woman will be controlling the husband as she likes. He says, wasaf, this is what we call what? Al-atf. What he just explained is what? Al-atf, attraction, inclination. So when they mix things together, the man starts running after the woman. Sometimes it is vice versa. Men do it to their wives too, shameless men. Yes, because the act is shameless. So men do it to their wives too. So the woman starts running about. Maybe it's in a contest with another man to have her. There are cases like this. Let me tell you also, it's common in the north. A young boy wants to marry a girl. About 4 or 5 boys are proposing the girl at the same time. We don't have that. It's very common. So she'll make tardy. That's what they call tardy. Every night a man wants to marry a woman, he'll go to her house, sit down with her, they'll be talking. Till 12 midnight, she will enter, the man will go. Before the man starts that, he will go and tell the father of the girl, I want to be talking to your daughter. And he'll say, yes, I allow you. It's very common, but it's an un-Islamic practice. Many of the scholars in the north speak against it. I spoke to some of them, they spoke against it, that it's wrong. It's a mixture of culture and religion. So when a man finally marries that kind of a girl, there are other men there. She liked them too. But for one reason or the other, the girl fell on the hand of one man. So that man that married her will like to do something to tie her down. So they make sihr against the woman. Allah, there are very, very, very dangerous cases. So that one is called sihrul atf or al-atf. The fear of what? Inclination, attraction. Many young boys that are shameless and incapable of wooing a woman and actually marrying a woman, they do that too. And many of those people you call afars here, they do it too. When a woman goes to them and say, oh, my husband is not doing so and so, they will do sihr of atf to her. She came with the problem of her husband, she will finally become a wife of the man. In cases where she doesn't even become a wife, the man, shameless apart too, will be making zina with her. They do it a lot. The so-called affairs. May Allah protect us. So that is what al-atfu. Al-atfu is what? Sale that is connected to what? Attraction. It says, was-sarfu bil-aks. The sale of rejection, avoidance, is the opposite of that. Min dhalik is the opposite of what we had explained. فَيُؤَثِّرُ فِي بَدَنِ الْمَسْحُورِ. These things have effect in the body of that person that has been bewitched. بِإِضْعَافِهِ شَيْئًا فَشَيْئًا حَتَّى يَهَلِكَ. When the man is bewitched like that, or a woman is bewitched like that, he or she begins to become weak gradually. يُضْعِفُهُ شَيْئًا فَشَيْئًا. He become weak gradually. حَتَّى يَهْلِكَ. He may become gradually weak until he dies. And that's why most women who have sihr on them, sometimes they behave as if they are not sensible. And most men who have sihr on them behave like that too. Their fellow men will be asking them, are you mad? Sometimes they behave like they are not sensible because they are controlled. They are under control, so to speak. May Allah protect us. It says, وَفِي تَصَوُّرِهِ. It also has effect. يعني يُؤَثِّرُ فِي تَصَوُّرِهِ. The way the man considers something, the sihr will have effect on him. بِأَنْ يَتَخَيَّلَ الْأَشْيَاءِ. By the fact that he will be thinking about things عَلَى خِلَافِ مَا هِيَ عَلَيْهِ. Different from the way those things are really. Something is straight. He will say, are you, brother, this wall I think is bending like this. It's not normal. The sihr that was done to him is probably the sihr of atf. Or the sihr of what? Surf. The sihr of surf is the sihr of hatred. People do it to a man and a woman. I know a woman. This woman has been married to her husband for 9 years. She said when she was explaining to the scholars, and to me I was privileged to hear about it from her, she said the husband has not had relations with her for up to 9 times in 9 years. And they have 3 children. She said those 3 children were mistakes. That because the husband never thought that he could get her pregnant in those 3 situations. He never comes to her. So one of the more elderly scholars said it is probable that she's suffering from sihr as-sarf. The sihr that has to do with avoidance. A man is married to a woman but he will hate her. When she talks, shuts her down. When she brings food, he will not eat. When she cooks food, he will not eat. When she sleeps on that bed, he hates the bed. When he says my husband, says, the day you ever say that again, you will see what I will do to you. Some of these men are already suffering from what? Sihr. That is called what? As-sarf. The sihr of hatred. They make a man to hate his wife. Just like they make a man to become the houseboy to his wife. May Allah protect us. And this is part of what Allah said in the Quran. فَيَتَعَلَّمُونَ مَا يُفَرِّقُونَ بِهِ بَيْنَ الْمَرْءِ وَزَوْجِهِ. They learned these things. If you ask them, where did they learn it? We learnt it from Shayateen. Ma yufarriquna bihi, what with which they cause disaffection. Bayn al-mar'i, between an individual and his spouse, between the man and his wife, between the wife and the husband. They've been living together happily for 10, 15, 20 years. Suddenly things will just change. May Allah protect us. The man begins to hate the woman begins to hate the man. Don't forget, it is safer. They will not be able to explain the reason. لماذا؟ لأنه خفي. Because it is what? Hidden. It is concealed. Somebody is there doing the work somewhere. May Allah protect us. So it affects the way the man reasons. وفي عقله, and in his intellect. فربما يصل إلى الجنون. Take the meaning. فربما, in some cases, يصل إلى الجنون. It will lead that man to being a madman. وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. May Allah protect us. So a man falls under sihr in these two conditions. In the first condition, they blow knots and they make conjurations. They will be conjuring so thing. If you ask what they conjure, how do they know it? They learnt it from Shayateen. May Allah protect us. So these two broad groupings of sihr will help us, inshallah, as we go on in the discussion. The second point we'd like to look at, inshallah, is what is the ruling of sihr? The ulama say the first group of sihr, the sihr of ar-ruqa wal-uqad. We know what that means now. That is group one. They say it is shirk. He said, rahimahullah, he says, فَالسِّحْرُ كِسْمَانِ, يعني من حيث حكمها. من حيث حكمها. From the aspects of its ruling. فَالسِّحْرُ كِسْمَانِ. Sihr has two groups. Al-awwal shirkun, the one that is shirk. Anybody who does it will go out of Islam. May Allah protect us. It says, وَهُوَ الْأَوَّلُ الَّذِي يَكُونُ بِوَاسِطَةِ الشَّيَاطِينِ. وَهُوَ الْأَوَّلُ الَّذِي يَكُونُ بِوَاسِطَةِ الشَّيَاطِينِ. It is the first group, that which is brought about through using devils. So in Yoruba, amongst them, they have names they call them. They say somebody has something that talks, and he will send that thing to do something, and it will do it. That is what? Shirk. It is sihr he is doing. He is sending the devil or the jinn to go and do something against somebody. There is something they call sigidi. I think that is correct. They send it to do that. Some people say they will send Eshu. It is the same thing. They are sending jinns. It doesn't mean the Eshu they are sending is Iblis himself. It is just one devil that is ready to help that man do what he wants to do. But those devils don't do those things FOC. No, they don't. They don't. The ulama said, the Shaykh said, rahimahullah, ya'buduhum, he must worship them. In one of the books about these matters, the ulama say one of the things those jinns will ask them to do is to mention the name of Allah in evil. So part of the incantations they will give them includes the words of shirk. Okay, I'll give you an example. The one they recite, they call it khutbah to Yasin. Do you know it contains the names of jinns? And they record that jinns. They say, Ya Kauka Ya Ilu, Ya Rauka Ya Ilu. Rauka Ya Ilu is the name of a jinn. They say, Ya Harfu Nida, Rauka Ya Ilu, oh Rauka Ya Ilu, Adifni, help me. Somebody, a Muslim, we say Rauka Ya Ilu, Rauka Ya Ilu. That's what they say. Between that and Allah, which one is easy? Shirk is takalluf. Shirk, joining partners with Allah, is what? Body. Instead of saying, Ya Rauka Ya Ilu, Ya Kaka Ilu, Why not say Allah? Or just say Allahumma? Which one is easier? Allahumma is easier. The nation Sallallahu and to the end. All these names, that letter has about 19 words. Allah only has alifun, lamun, ha'un. Alifun, lamun, ha'un. 4 letters. Before you finish the name of the jinn, the person has called Allah. So when they call the jinns, ya'budunahum, they worship those jinns. Sometimes they tell them to stand on top of the Quran, to urinate on the Quran, to defecate on the Quran, to put the Quran under the bathroom. They dig a ground there and put the Quran there, or in the toilet. Yes, or in the cesspit. They tell them to write some things. Let me say this here. Somebody says, a scholar said that perhaps that is what we are suffering in Maiduguri. Because the people of Maiduguri are well known for something like this. You don't know? For fear of Quran. Is Maiduguri Nihayatul Mataf, as Arabs say, the end of discussion. For fear about Quran is Maiduguri. There is nothing they cannot use the Quran to do. Ulama say the punishment of Allah came. May Allah forgive us and protect us. So when people sin against Allah, He can bring His punishment. What is happening there? Both innocent and non-innocent, everybody is harmed. Because He said, "Taqu fitnatan, la tusibanna alladhina zalamu minkum khassa." Fear a punishment. When the punishment, fear a fitna, when it comes, it is not only those who offended that Allah will punish you. Everybody. That community is known for that. There is nothing they can do in Maiduguri with Quran. There is nothing they can do in Maiduguri with Quran. So when they do that, they just do what they want. If it is money, they go and pack the money from somewhere. They bring it to them. They go and bring it. They say, kill somebody, kill so and so for us. We start saying that we start hearing ritual killings. That is what they do. It is the same. When they now appease those jinns, the jinns now do what they want. People do it even to rig elections. Yes, the jinns will go and carry the box. They will change it before you count it. They already have boxes. My dear brothers, take it serious. Those who do it, do it. It's not only pen and soldiers they use to rig elections, as the way people have been saying. You know, people complain in the newspapers. They say they use soldiers to rig elections, they use police. Allahu Allah. It is not only that. Many of them, by the time elections are closer, you start hearing about ritual killings. They make strong sihr. And they call jinns. The jinns too immobilize themselves. You are not seeing them. And they are much more than us in number. The jinns are much more than our number. Far much more than us. And they live far longer than us in age. A jinn can live for 600 years. 500, 1000. So he knows you, he knows your father, he knows your grandfather, he knows everything about you. Not only that, they are very swift. Jinns, the devils, they are fast. Between you open your eye and close it, they are gone to Lagos and they are back. Faster than whatever you can think of, the speed of light. You go to Lagos, you come back, just close your eyes and open it. They have done it. Isn't that the case of the Ifrit when he told Suleiman alayhi salam? When you open your eyes and close it, the chair of Bilqis is in front. Ifrit min al-jinn. So they can do all these things. So when you do elections, they go and change the ballots. They are loaded some with whatever party they want to vote in. When they carry the votes, those people carrying the votes, carrying the boxes, they will drop it, say they want to count. The jinns have changed it. So here these, those of you monitoring elections, I'm not teaching you what to do. But know that it can happen. So they do a lot of things. They do a lot of things. They steal people's children. They say we need a 4-month-old child that is like this, like this. They say they send the jinn, go and look for it. The jinn will start looking everywhere. You are not seeing. And many of us are lazy. When we go out in the morning, we don't make adhkar for our children. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he used to himself make adhkar for his grandchildren Hassan and Hussein. He will say to them, "U'izukuma bi kalimatillahi at-tammah min kulli shaytanin wa hammah wa min kulli aynin allamah." But we are busy. We don't have time. We are busy. We do that later. If we ever think that it is important. So a jinn comes into our house and carries the baby and goes away. We start saying, "My pikin, oh my pikin." The jinn has carried it away. May Allah protect us. May Allah protect us. So these are from the aspects of shirk. When people make sihr involving that they should make incantations for devils or jinns for them to command them, it's about the issues of ibadah. So the Shaykh said, "Ya'buduhu," they worship them. "Wa yataqarrabu ilayhim," it means of nearness to them. They may tell them, "Buy a black camel in the eyes, buy a goat that has a horn." So you see them, they start moving from power line to other to Ilobu. What are you looking for? They are looking for a goat that is not lost. May Allah protect us. So they go and slaughter them. Sometimes they say, "Buy a black goat that does not have any white dots on his body." They start traveling all around looking for a black goat. Sometimes they say, "Look for something." They tell them to do something for them by way of worship. Because once they worship them, that's all. They have become mushrikun. That is what the jinns want. And they are ready to, because of that, do anything for them in return. So وَيَتَقَرَّبُ إِلَيْهِ. So they seek, those men, those human beings, they seek nearness to those jinns. لِيُسَلِّطَهُمْ عَلَى الْمَسْحُورِ, so that they can unleash them against those who are bewitched. When you do this to me, I'll do that to you. So after he has given him a goat, he has killed a human being, a 4-month-old baby, and all these things ritualists do, they now send the jinns. The jinns will now go and do anything they want. They can go to an office, maybe they do a contract with NNPC. The contract is 1 million. They say go and add 1 more zero. The day they will pay the check, it is 10 million they will pay. Or when they add it, they give them the check, they go to the hospital, they go to the bank, CBN, to clear the bank. The person clearing the check will be seeing 10 million instead of 1 million. Different things, brothers. Sometimes they cause them to harm people. So and so have done to you. Go and do so and so to so person. So a man is just sleeping in his house, not well fortified. That is why you must not joke with your adhkars. Laylan wa nahara. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he says, if a person recites Ayat al-Kursi in the night before he sleeps, Allah will bring an angel that will stand near him, protecting him till the next morning. You see that you don't have problem? One Ayat al-Kursi in the night. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when you are coming out of your house, going to office, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, whoever says Bismillah, tawakkaltu ala Allahi, wa la hawla, wa la quwwata, illa billah. Check even the meanings of these adhkars. La hawla, wa la quwwata, illa billah. The jinns who are outside of your house waiting for you to come out without saying it, they will say, we don't lose this one. We have lost this one today. Wallahi. And when you are coming back to your house, once you open your door, you make dhikr by saying Salamu Alaikum. They will say, he has sent us away. They will be following you about. They are here. Everywhere you are, they are there. So you can't run away. What you can do is to make isti'adha, mold a fence around yourself, around your house, around your children, by running towards Allah. Because the one who can protect you from shaitan is Allah. You can protect yourself against shaitan. It's more powerful than you are. Brothers, we can't protect ourselves against shaitan. What we can do against shaitan is to do what? To run to Allah for protection. That is the meaning of A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitan. Oh Allah, I run towards you. One of the scholars was explaining why is it like that. He says because shaitan is da'if. Allah says, Inna kayda shaitani kana da'ifa. The plots of shaitan are weak. He says, وَخُلِقَ الْإِنسَانُ ضَعِيفًا. Man is also created weak. He says, فَالضَّعِيفُ ضَعِيفٌ. Shaitan da'if, human being is what? Da'if. So the one who will be qawi, هو الذي ألجأ إلى الله ألجأ إلى الله, is the one who will run towards Allah. Shaitan will not run towards Allah. So when you run towards Allah, you get strength. You become qawi against who? Da'if. Shaitan da'if. Banu Adam da'if. Du'afa. So when we run to Allah, we become aqwiya, qawi. You become strong because you took refuge in Allah. So da'if cannot fight da'if. Da'if cannot fight da'if. Da'if can seek refuge with qawi. فَيَتَقَوَّى بِالْقَوِيِّ al-mateen. But the second da'if, at that time we either be looking at you and say, look at him, he can't fight, he ran towards his brother. You know, when we were young, if we fight our mates and we see that the fight is difficult, we see our brother coming, we just run to him. That one can't fight us again. He will say, look at him, you are running to your brother. What about the one who runs to Allah? So you can't fight shaitan. What you can do is to run towards Allah, to take refuge against who? Shaitan. Because we are da'if and shaitan is da'if. May Allah make us strong. So the first ruling of sihr is what? Shirk. Which of them is shirk? The sihr that is connected to what? Al-uqad or ruqad. The second ruling of shirk, of sihr, it is udwan or fisk, transgression and sinfulness, wrongdoing, udwan. The sihr that is shirk and the sihr that is what? Fisk. The sihr, the aspects of sihr that is shirk and the aspects of sihr that is what? Fisk, sin. And the second aspect is that which is what? The wasitatil adwiyati, that which occurs through the use of medicine. You know, a woman who does a medicine against her husband or against another man, it could even be a young girl who wants to marry a boy. And then she goes and asks, please, let me do something. They do it for her. They mix some things for her. And then she begins to oppress the other man. Or he begins to oppress the girl. Men do it towards women too. They mix up things and they do it to have a girl to marry. The girl becomes inclined to them. Not knowing herself. So you see, they are oppressing the girl. So that is why it is what? Udwan. It is oppression, aggression, and what? Fisk, sin, wrongdoing. So one hukum of sihr is the sihr that takes somebody out of Islam. And the second hukum of sihr is the sihr that makes an individual to become a very, very sinful person. What are the evidences? We quickly do that. And inshallah stop our discussions for today. Allah said in the Quran, He says, وَاتَّبَعُوا مَا تَتْلُو الشَّيَاطِينُ عَلَى مُلْكِ سُلَيْمَانَ. Nabi Sulaiman, I think this verse itself deserves full attention. And we have less than 3 minutes. Let me reserve it in the next class. Because there are a lot of powers, there are a lot of issues of points of benefit in that verse. But let's just understand that sihr has 2 rulings. One ruling that if a person does it, the person goes out of Islam. The second ruling, if a person does it, he does not go out of Islam. There is a very, very sinful person. The one which makes a person go out of Islam is the one that is connected to what? Knots and what? Invocations, incantations. And the one that does not make the person go out of Islam are those ones that are connected to mixing A and B. Mixing a leaf, mixing one urine, mixing things like that. That one makes a Muslim to be a fast. But the other one makes a Muslim to be what? A kafir. Inshallah, we'll continue from this point in our next class. May Allah make it easy for us. The issue of sihr is a very, very wide discourse. When I started, I didn't know where to start from. But I think we make some points of benefit, inshallah. May Allah make it benefit the speaker and listener. If they ask for a black goat, and we know that they want to use it for sure, can someone lie to them? Don't lie to them. The issue is don't go to them. We'll come back to that. The rulings of going to all these people who we know perform these things. Going to them may amount to kufr in some cases. Liman sabbakum, those who believe them. And in some cases it is faith. In some cases it is sin. Inshallah we will mention the ruling of going to those people. May Allah protect us. Don't visit a sahir at all. There are even cases where they will not tell you as an individual to bring something, because they will still collect that thing from you later. Sahiru or as-sahara, when you go to them, they say don't bring anything. And you too, you say they didn't collect anything. In fact, he did not mix anything. But you know that he is a sahir. Don't go to him. Don't ask him for anything. Don't go to anybody. Turn to Allah. Turn to Allah. Wake up in the night. Even if it is 1 rak'ah you are able to make. 1 rak'ah. In that rak'ah, read Ikhlas, read Falak, read Nas. Say, Allah protect me. Allah will protect you. It is his promise, unless you don't do it. Unless you don't do it. Don't start running helter-skelter. Allah has enabled you. Islam has enabled you. Those people will make you lose this dunya. They will make you lose your hereafter. Because they will turn you to a kafir. They will turn you to somebody who, when you pray, Allah will not accept your dua. When you make salah, Allah will not accept your salah. You will live miserably. You lose when you go to them. Don't go to them. Turn to your Lord. وَقَالَ رَبُّكُمُ ادْعُونِي أَسْتَجِبْ لَكُمْ. Your Lord. Look at how he said it. وَقَالَ رَبُّكُمْ. Your Lord says, ادْعُونِي أَسْتَجِبْ لَكُمْ. Call me, I will answer you. He says, مَا يَعْبَوْ بِكُمْ رَبِّي لَوْلَا دُعَاؤُكُمْ. Your Lord does not count you as anything if you don't supplicate to him. Look at, Allah doesn't, you are nothing in the front of Allah if you are not praying. Don't make dua. You make the dua. Make it yourself. Shaitan begged Allah and Allah grants him. You are not worse than Shaitan. So why do you think if you make dua, Allah will not accept? You are not worse than Shaitan. Make the dua. Don't be a dua contractor. Don't give and don't take. Don't be a second class with your Lord. When Allah created you, that person was not there. ما أشهدتكم خلق السماوات والأرض ولا خلق أنفسهم. They themselves, when they were created, Allah didn't call them to attention. Say, oh, come and be a witness. So why do you think if you don't go to him, Allah can't answer your dua? May Allah answer our supplications. So don't go to anybody. Whether they say bring the ram or they didn't say bring the ram, don't go. Turn to Allah. Wallahu alam, this writing is not clear. If we have brothers who have questions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 11, 12, 13, 1. Take it. Most of those things too are connected to sickness. They say the lower back ache, common amongst people, amongst men, it has a lot of medical explanations. Yes, there are aspects of it that modern medicine has not discovered. I strongly agree with it. There are aspects of the lower back ache, sorry doctors, there are aspects of the lower back pain that modern medicine has not discovered its cause. For example, the consumption of sugar. Modern medicine does not believe that it has effects on issues of back pain, and it does have. Proof. If you ask, what is the proof? I said because when a man takes sugar, he sees the difference from when he stops taking the sugar. The person who stops taking the sugar and the back pain recedes, when he starts going back to it, it reoccurs. That is evidence. That is not only regarding one person, 2 people, 3 people. It is common amongst the people that the more your sugar intake, the more you are susceptible to lower back pain. Sorry, nurse. So, in Yoruba land, they have something they call agumo. They now point their herbs, I think. They collect things together. And they pour it on the thicker pellets, on the feces itself. Rather than say drink it, or rub it on the back that is paining and aching, they say pour it on the feces itself. Now, how do we explain that? It has aspects of sin. Shaykh Muhammad ibn Salih al-Husaymin explained medicine and cure. He said medicine and cure that is acceptable in the Sharia are of 2 kinds. That ache, that back that is paining you, you can say Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim, Qul huwallahu ahad, or let me say another one. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this hadith is authentic and it's contained in Sahih Muslim. He said, if you put your hand on your tongue, collect part of your speech, your sputum, touch it on the ground, your sputum, collect, touch it on the soil, and put it on the place that is paining you, and say, Bismillah, turbatu ardina, wariqatu ahadina, tushfa bihi faqimuna bi-izni rabbina. He said, alayhi salatu wasalam, Allah will cure the pain. The hadith is in science. Collect your speech, touch the ground, the soil, not coca, the soil, sand, and touch it on the place and say this dhikr. What I want to inquire is, you still say touch the place. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Even when you are using approved ruqya, dua, you are still having to do what? So, if it is dua you want to use to cure your illness, use the dua. That one is accepted, whether you rub the hand there or not. But if it is substance you are using, let it be that that substance has to do with that place. For example, except if there are other connections like acupuncture or acupuncture now. Those people have studied all the various holes and veins of the body. So when they puncture those veins using their needles, there are veins, specific veins that are connected to particular places in the body. Likewise, when you make hijama, the hijama has to do with the place that is disturbing you. The Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, it is one of the best ways of seeking cure in the ummah. I have experienced it, wallahi. Hijama is very good. Copy. What I'm saying is, there are 2 ways of curing and taking medicine. One is, you just beg Allah, Allah, this thing that is affecting me, take it away. That is one way. The second way is, You take a medicine, and that medicine must be connected to what you are taking it for. For example, if it is eye, you use eye drop, abi? If it is ear, what do you call it? Ear drop. If it is teeth, where do you go to? A dentist. Do you understand? If it is spinal cord, who do you see? Neurosurgeon. If it is eye, they say go and see ophthalmologist. All those things are connected to the things. But when you now wash your hand for back pain, what is the connector between the hand and the back pain? You see khafiya sababu. There is some concealed thing. You will see the effect. Do you understand? But from a concealed source, sihr begins to come in. Or they say, just pour it on top of your fecal pillow. Will that physics return to your stomach? Will it return to your stomach? So let's hold this basic principle about the kind of medicines people will be giving us. If it is physical, it must be connected to the organ. If you ask, if somebody is suffering from headache, why does he take paracetamol? Because it is confirmed that that paracetamol will go into his blood vessels and it will go to resolve the matter in the brain. It is proven. It is established. In fact, if it is a problem that has to do with broken bones, before they touch you, they say make x-ray so that they will see the plates. So when something is like this can be proven, is clear, there is no problem with our Sharia. But that you pour a dusty something on top of your urine or on top of your fecal pellet, when the matter is with respect to your back pain, then there is some unknown, concealed, there is some related matters there. So but mostly things like that we go back to the second category of sin, which has to do with mixing up physical substance or not. I hope it is clear. You didn't raise up with it. Number 2, alaykum salam. Is it allowed for a Muslim woman to ride a bicycle or a motorcycle, whether she's riding by herself or somebody is carrying her behind? And by extension, a car. I believe that it is allowed. A Muslim woman can ride a motorcycle who is wearing, call it any name, imaru, jilbabu, anything you like to call. A Muslim woman can ride a motorcycle or a bicycle because it is connected and rulings can be deduced from that with a horse or a camel. The women did that in the time of the Messenger. They rode on camels alone, and they rode with their families, their husbands. Yes. So by that I'm saying if you have an Okada, your wife can ride behind you. So she will be your Radi. But if somebody riding behind the other person, allowed. Nobody has anything to say that's wrong. Salama radiallahu anha, the hadith is in Sahih Bukhari, she made her tawaf while she was riding on a camel. And the Prophet said alayhi salatu wasalam, Khairu nisa'u Quraysh, allati rakibna al-ibn. The best of the women are the Qurayshi women, those who ride camels. So the Prophet made us understand. So, and a car covers the woman more than a bike. So she's not allowed to drive a car if she has one. It's allowed in the Sharia. If we say she's not allowed, you'll be asking us questions, you'll be asking questions we can't answer. People say to make a woman go out without the husband's permission. When she's going with her leg, she's not going out with her husband's permission. And that has nothing to do with the ruling of driving a car itself. If she takes permission, is it over? People say, oh, a tire can burst. Then she be looking for somebody to change the tire for her. Is it all men who drive cars that have ability to change tires? So why don't you say because of that men too should not ride cars? Allahu Alam, and this is the opinion of Shaykh Rahimahullah. Number 3. Alaykum salam. You see what? The appropriate way of sighting the Qibla in the wilderness, I think we mentioned it in the last class or last 2 classes. Nigeria especially, it's very easy. It's about eastwards, the direction of Qibla. The direction of Qibla is almost completely eastwards. That is almost east. So what you do if it's in the morning, you watch where your image falls. The opposite is the direction of the Qibla. And if it is during the day, the direction of your shadow, just face your shadow. That will keep it. And if you can't find anywhere, just pray. Number 4. Alaykum salam. You say what? You love somebody because the way you do things. The envy is to hate what the person has. When you love what he has for yourself too, that is called ghibta. The ulama say yaghbitu al-mu'min wa la yahsudu. The mu'min al-ghibta min al-iman. To like a good thing another person has is from iman. But to hate that that person should have it, that you, why is it you? We are here, we have BSc, we have MSc, we have PhD, we have this, we didn't have it, is it you? So that is hatred. And it falls under envy. Beefing, B-E-F. It's a verb, the best form of beef. Because beef is the flesh of cows. But when you use it in the verb form, we are talking about jealousy. Now, alaykum salam. Your questions are,